Well, good morning, guys. It is a wild Wednesday. We are in the ARC, the Animal Reptile Complex here at Riverbanks Zoo and Garden. Part of the thing about the zoo, of course, there's fun animals. You can go see them, and you can take rides on the carousel. But another mission of Riverbanks Zoo and Garden is conservation. And that means conserving not only trees and the environment, but conserving animals and the other creatures that live here on the earth and making sure that they're here next year and for many, many years to come. So conservation and a zoo go hand in hand. Certainly true here at Riverbanks. Scott Pfaff, you're one of the curators. Are you a reptile curator?
Curator of herpetology, which is reptiles and amphibians.
So I'm just going to go with reptiles because that's a big word for me. But you guys actually have what's called an SSP, a Species Survival Program here.
Right. AZA, which is the national organization that most zoos in the United States belong to, have cooperative breeding programs for different types of animals. And usually we reserve SSPs for some of the most endangered animals like tigers or false gharial crocodiles like we have here.
This is a false gharial?
False gharial crocodile, right. True gharials are found in India. This is actually a different species that's known as false gharial.
Kind of a poser then.
Right, but then now we've changed the name to Tomistoma because that's what the locals call it. But this is actually an animal that's one of the most endangered vertebrates on the planet. It's a big croc that can be up to 20 feet long, but now they're mostly found on the islands of Sumatra and Borneo. And one of the reasons is they're endangered, not because people kill them for their skins like other crocodiles, because their skin isn't useful for the leather trade, but because their preferred habitat, peat swamp forest, is being drained and converted into oil palm plantations, which of course humans use for food. So this crocodile is endangered because its habitat is being converted into agriculture.
So how does an SSP, a Species Survival Program, play into these guys? What is Riverbanks doing to protect these species and maybe grow it?
Well, the first thing we do is we come up with a plan that has goals. And the goal for this animal is to maintain a population of about 100 in the United States for the next 200 years. So to do that, we have to manage them both genetically.
You're doing the math at home, I know.
We have to manage them both genetically and demographically, and that's the hard part. We want to keep these animals in captivity like they are in the wild. We want to maintain about 95% of the heterozygosity of the wild population. That means this gharial looks like the ones that are in the wild. We don't want any kind of genetic drift to change them into a different looking animal like we've done with dogs and cats. So a dog is a wolf, but it looks different than a wolf. That's genetic drift. So we don't want to do that with these animals, and we have to manage them that way. We have to manage them genetically too. And that's difficult, especially with this species, because they don't breed well in captivity. So that's a nut we really haven't cracked. So for this SSP, we're not achieving our goals because we can't get them to breed. They've bred a few times, but we just don't know enough about the natural history of the animal to apply that knowledge to get them to reproduce in captivity on demand.
All right, Scott Pfaff, thank you very much. Of course, if you're like me and you're in the wild and you see one croc face to face, that's one croc too many. But that's all right. Some of the conservation efforts, we're going to be talking about it all morning long here on Good Day Columbia as we celebrate yet another Wild Wednesday. Stick around. Good Day Columbia is coming right back.